welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is going to be a reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for the week of November the 29th to December the 5th. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to pull an oracle card to read at the end of your reading as your final guidance. There we go. Okay, now let's jump into the tarot cards this week right away and see what messages we have for Aquarius, keeping in mind that there is a solar eclipse happening on December the 4th, depending on where you live. Could be the 3rd. And this is the last eclipse of 2021. So I feel like it's really going to be bringing in closure energy. We're really buttoning up things from the past, taking care of the last bits of sort of old stories that need healing. And I feel like that is sort of affecting all the signs a little bit differently. Some are focusing more on the new beginnings. Some are really focusing on the closing aspect, the closure, achieving closure. And some other signs are really going to be diving back into that old energy to see things again from another perspective, potentially. So let's find out where Aquarius is at with all of this energy. Thank you. Okay, Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius, the first card out of the deck is not a traditional tarot card, but in this deck it's included. It's the Creator. It's the No card. So this card is one that suggests that you need to look at something again. That maybe you have been pursuing something that doesn't resonate for you. This is a card of reviewing things to have another look, because something isn't in alignment, something is not the truth, something is not resonating, there is something up. It's not what you think when you see this card, right? It's a no. So that, let's see, what's the obstacle here? The obstacle here is the Page of Wands. So it's interesting. It's like you're sitting in a situation right now that might not resonate for you, and the thing challenging you is the need to have sort of a communication. I feel like this Page of Wands is coming in here. It's creating an obstacle by trying to get you to shift out of whatever this is. It's interesting to see these cards next to each or together. Something that Aquarius is sort of focused on is not serving them. And the challenge that's coming in here is it's a communication almost from spirit. It's a Page of Wands. This is an inspiration. This is an initiation from spirit to say, we're going to do things differently. We got to communicate the truth in a different way. This is not serving you. And so it's like this Page of Wands is coming in to sort of grab Aquarius by the shoulders and say, no, wake up. This isn't the way we're going to go through this. This is very interesting. What's at top of mind? Top of mind for Aquarius is the Eight of Swords. They're overthinking it. Perhaps you're overthinking a conversation that needs to happen. You might be overthinking the dynamics or fearing the outcome of a conversation, right? The words around this card say frustration, anxiety, trapped, frustration, anxiety, trapped. And I always see the Eight of Swords as a time where we're fearing outcomes that we feel we already know what the outcome is going to be. And so we're afraid. And so it's interesting that you're receiving the No card, because maybe the way you have forecasted the outcomes is not correct. Perhaps you have imagined it as being one way, but maybe it's going to go another way. You're afraid of how it's going to turn out if you reach out. And you know, we've been seeing this in lots of readings, that Aquarius is going to be reaching out to someone, you know, or an air sign. In some cases, it seems like it's a Gemini, but it's interesting. I still feel like Aquarius wants to reach out to have a conversation, but they're freaked out about it. They're freaked out about it, and we can see why now. They're afraid of the outcomes. They're afraid of how it's going to go and what the result is going to be. The thing driving this reading is the Seven of Cups. So Aquarius is focused on choices, on their instincts, on passion, on options, on extremes. And the interesting thing about the Seven of Cups is I always look at this card to say, yeah, there's lots of options, but none of them serve you. You're going to walk away from all of these because they're all distractions. I always see the Seven of Cups as being a card of options that are meant to distract you, to see whether or not you have truly stepped away from the past, which is the Six of Cups. The card right before this is all about sort of being nostalgic about the past. And I feel like all of these options fit the past you in different forms, right? Like in different times. But I don't know. That's why I feel like you're getting this Page of Wands and the Creator card, which says no, because none of these options are going to serve you. What needs to happen is a new initiation. You need to surrender these fears of the outcome and channel into this Page of Wands energy that says we have to look at doing things in a new way. And here is the inspiration. It's not very mature, though. It's a very sort of young inspiration. It's at the page level. So Aquarius might have a hard time interpreting that. And as a result, they're sort of focusing on, well, no, I know how this is going to go. Well, do you? Do you really? I feel like you don't. I feel like you think you do, but you don't. Now, in the recent past, yeah, we see the Five of Cups. So very recently, Aquarius has come to terms, or has sort of come to the truth of this issue. When I say come to terms, I mean like it's almost like they finally see that they lost something in the past. Maybe you didn't perceive it as a loss until recently, though. It might have just been in the recent past that when you reflect on this, you're like, oh boy, I lost out on something, or I missed out on an opportunity and I'm sad. There's an emotional sadness here that needs to sort of be accepted before you can move on. And I feel like you might want to go back, right? Like I was saying in some of the other readings, this solar eclipse is going to affect everyone differently, in the sense that for some people, it's going to close a chapter. For some people, it's going to initiate a new chapter. And for other people, it's going to be like they look at the past and see it in a new way. And that's what I'm feeling for Aquarius, is that you've been recently enlightened. And that's why you're getting this no card, because it's like you recently found out that the way you were looking at a situation was not accurate. It was a reflection on your own fears. It was a reflection of how you assumed this situation was, the truth about it. But I think you recently found out that you were mistaken. And now you are like, oh boy, that was a loss then. If I was wrong about this person's intentions, let's say, then that means that I missed out. Maybe they really did love me and now they're gone. That's sort of what I'm feeling for Aquarius, is that they feel from a situation that happened a while ago, they're starting to understand it now, which is why I think you're seeing the Seven of Cups as sort of driving this reading, because you thought it was one of these things and it wasn't. It never was. It was always something pure and innocent. And I think you didn't think so. And now the idea of going back has you freaked out with the Eight of Swords, because you're like, I understand this now. And what am I supposed to say? What am I going to say to this person is sort of what I'm feeling. Now, the upcoming future energy is the Death card, very Scorpio, of new beginnings. You want a new start with this person. You want to take this wisdom that you've recently come into and run with it. I feel like you want to charge in, Aquarius. You want to charge in, but you're just so afraid of what the outcome will be. But I mean, that Death card tells me that you're in the future looking at a new beginning, one way or the other, Aquarius, you're looking at a new beginning. If it's with this old person, if it's with a new person, one way or the other, this situation is moving. You're going to have some movement happen here. And your inner dialogue is one of the Queen of Wands, which is very much a time where you're trying to create something sustainable. Okay, it's almost like you've got this new creative sort of focus and you want it to last. You want to create something that's going to sort of create and recreate and evolve and grow and grow. Yeah, grow is the key word. That's what I'm trying to say here, is that now that you understand the truth, which is I feel like what's going on here, or that you will understand the truth very soon. I think you're already sitting in the truth, and that's what's got you worrying about the outcomes. But really your inner dialogue is like, I want this situation to renew itself and grow, which is actually pretty beautiful, Aquarius. Like your intentions, I really feel like your intentions have shifted here. You're no longer, I don't, not that your intention was wrong before, but I feel like you were misinformed. I feel like you were misinformed or misled. There was some deception here, you know? The Seven of Cups really says to me that none of the options that were ahead of you were for you. And that Creator card really solidifies it by saying, this is not for you. Whatever you were thinking, it was not true. It wasn't serving you, and it was wrong. And this Page of Wands is coming in with the truth, the good news. It's like you were suddenly enlightened. And now you fear the consequences because you want to go back to whatever this energy of the Five of Cups was, and you want it to regrow. You want to grow it again. You want to plant it and grow it again, which is actually very beautiful. It's making my heart soften for you a bit here, Aquarius. Yeah, and the outer expression for, oh, Aquarius, I feel for you. I feel for you. You're up all night worrying about this. And this is your outward expression. So you're talking about this with people. You're outwardly anxious. You're outwardly worried about the outcome here. We have the 8 and the 9 of Swords. So not only are you worried and fearing the outcomes in your mind, but you're also very anxious about this openly when you talk to people and your actions. You're feeling like, I'm so anxious about this. And I feel like you're not only anxious, you're afraid, and there's an element of sadness here too, where it's sad, it's worried, it's all pushing you to do something that you're afraid to do. It's really interesting. Who do you need to talk to? Who do you need to talk to? You need to talk to someone. You get this off your chest, but I think you're afraid. There could even be pride here. There could be an element of pride here where you don't want to admit something, but you want to admit it. You know what I mean? Like you want to get it off your chest, but pride could be here. Now we see the Knight of Pentacles. Now the Knight of Pentacles is a slow moving knight. It's not a fastie like the Knight of Swords, but this Knight of Pentacles is reorganizing your daily life. So you are ready. Like I said with this Queen of Wands, you want to take this wisdom that you've recently been enlightened about the truth. You want to take that wisdom. You want to rediscover this situation under the new lens. You want to plant it. You want to create and grow with this. You want to create a growth in a situation here. And this Knight of Pentacles comes along to help you develop the tasks of your ordinary or your day-to-day life, like the elements of your life. You've been reorganizing them based on all of this. So I feel like you've made some changes. This Knight says to me, maybe you have changed your job, changed your residence, changed your daily patterns, changed something about your day-to-day in response to this. So you know, and there's more changes that I think you want to make and that you want to see, but you're still a little unsure because I think you're afraid of the outcomes of making some big changes here. But I think this Knight of Pentacles to me says you want a new start with this person. You want to invest from the beginning. You want a prosperous growth, right? You want growth. And I feel like you want to reinvest. You want to start again. You want to replant the seeds of this, but in a new medium. You want fresh soil. You want a fresh pot. You know, you don't want anything here that's not new. It's interesting. You really want a new beginning, and I feel like it's going to have to involve a conversation. Now, the closing energy here, your final outcome is the King of Cups. Oh boy, you would love Aquarius. You would love. Now, this is also Scorpio. So you got two Scorpio cards. Maybe you're dealing with a Scorpio. I've sort of been feeling like you've been dealing with an earth sign. And the Knight of Pentacles is Virgo. So perhaps there is an earth sign involved here with you. But it's interesting. This king can get involved in any situation and be loving and empathic and warm-hearted, but doesn't get involved in the drama. This king can separate from the drama. This king can be involved, but intuitively, this king can also sort of bring the energy of being neutral, right? Like in the sense of there's a lot of love here, but no confusion about drama. This king knows when to get involved and when it has nothing to do with him. He can ride the emotional waves without getting overly involved in the situation. And so I feel like for you, Aquarius, that is suggesting that the outcome for you is going to be one where I feel like you will step into that king. You will be more, because you're Aquarius. Your energy is more attuned to the King of Swords. And that king is able to be very strategic, right? Whereas this king is incredibly loving and empathic and really warm-hearted. It's all about emotion. So I feel like you've shifted from being strategic and needing to sort of shift mentally in order to be the winner in the situation. And that's the energy of the King of Swords, which is your energy. This King of Cups is not that. This King of Cups is open emotionally, but doesn't get emotionally trapped or doesn't get emotionally under the water, like drowning in emotion. Do you know what I mean? He rides those waves. He doesn't get overly involved, but can certainly appreciate and has a lot of empathy and charisma, but doesn't get entangled in the drama, right? Which may have been something that happened for you before, But now it's almost like you're rising above that. You're rising above the drama and you're floating on top of it. And you're just observing without evaluating or judging. And you're present, which is, I think, very different for the way you were in this situation. Now, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. The bottom of the deck is the Justice card, which is a time of balance, equality, and sort of creating a harmony between things. And it's an evaluative time, too. It's Libra energy, so more air sign energy here. Very much a time where you're looking at things and evaluating them to make some sort of balance. And I feel like right now you could just be balancing your fears versus the new inspiration that you have to do something brand new with this Page of Wands, with this King of Cups, with this Page of Pentacles. Yeah, you're really wanting to bring balance to a situation here, Aquarius, that may have felt out of balance for some time now. Now let's see, to close your reading, what was your oracle card? Number 41, Moon Goddess. I am in harmonious flow with the moon's energy in all the phases of life. Very interesting, because I feel like this is very true for you now, and it might not have been true before. You might not have been in flow. Harmony in terms of energy was absent, and I feel like now it's very present. This card makes me think of Pisces energy because of its heavy moon influence, and it makes me think that the flow that you're in now has enlightened you. I feel like Aquarius has been enlightened and understands something in a new way, and that you're no longer sort of being held to things that don't serve you. In fact, you are in flow with the moon's energy, And that is the energy of the feminine, that divine feminine energy where you're starting to create and you're starting to view the world in a different way, right? You're really looking at all the phases of your life to sort of decide how you're going to be most in balance, which is interesting because we did see the Justice card here. And it's very much a time of bringing equality back here. And maybe there was an absence of that in the past. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that for you, Aquarius. If this has resonated and you would like a personal reading, you can find my email in the description below. And as always, thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and watching. And we'll see you again very soon for another reading. Sending you lots of love and light, my friends. Have a great week.